Hi everyone, how's it going? John Cott here from Genesis Kelowna. We're starting a new series, Get Local by Genesis, where I go ahead and pick up local businessmen or women and they talk to us about their business and show us what they do in the community and what their story is and how they got into their business. And then we're also going to go for lunch to a local restaurant. So I'm pretty excited about getting this series rolling. And you'll see a few more as well, but Dale Lambert from DKL Financial is my first guest. So we're on our way to Dale's office. Dale specializes in basically anything financial, RSPs, investments, life insurance. Anyway, I'm excited about sitting down with Dale, and I'm excited about the guys over at Central Bar and Grill where we're going to have lunch. So we'll see them shortly. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Good to see Dale. How's it going, guys? Good to see you as well. Matt, how are you, buddy?
Good. How are you for Monday?
And here's the big guy himself. Good? Good?
Best of the season, do you?
Dale, want to give us a quick tour of the place? Okay.
Yeah, we were happy with it. We kind of had that vision of glass, keep it open-ended, and obviously with that, the killer view there, like you say, in Kelowna to get that lake and mountains. And
it's a beautiful office.
Yeah.
And then this is where you spend some time and keep track of the market and everything else, right?
Yeah, we're just focusing on everything we can do to make life simpler for our clients. Obviously, you being one, and everybody else. It's an interesting world we live in today. Obviously, in this country, in this province. And
how long have you been doing this now?
October 10th, I went into my 30th year. So I've been doing this a long time.
And what have you started out with, like
Mutual Life of Canada back in 1995?
Kind of as like someone mentored you a little bit at the start?
Yeah, I was basically thrown to the wolves. I came out of university and basically wanted to, I always had that interest in finance and financial planning, and Mutual Life gave me the chance back then, and knew a lot of people, obviously growing up in the community, and it was a hard, as I would say, it's a job or a career that you have to work hard. It's no different than your business, John. You don't get there from just sitting on your ass.
30 years, wow, that's a long time.
30th year, so it's I've seen it all. I remember when we started, we didn't have cell phones.
Yeah.
We had one one desktop computer that we would all go on to sign in and check our messages, and there was maybe a couple a day.
Yeah.
And here we've evolved to today where everything is technology. So it's been an interesting world. COVID changed the dynamic in our business, as did everything. I would say our toughest year was 2022.
I bet,
It was the toughest. Yet in your business, 2022 was one of the best years.
It was, supply and demand,
I guess we looked at exactly the supply demand theory, and in our business, we just saw the inflation thing not making sense. We saw the markets, nothing working. The bond market didn't work. The equity markets didn't work. Cash was the only thing that was working. The housing market's taking off, and we're going, why? Because nobody's working. And now I think we're all paying the price for it. The stock market, this is arguably one of our best years in 30 years this year. Things have been good. We think things are going to continue to roll.
So let's go for lunch.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk some more. I noticed you got my favorite scotch over there.
We gotta listen. We gotta have a few for you, Johnny. When things come in, you gotta have your choice, right?
All right. One is a GB80, so it's very nice. Yeah. There we go. Hop in, Dale. This is Fudd. Okay.
Had a pretty good year. We had a pretty good year. I mean, inventory was short in a lot of the brands, and the Stellantis brands, lots of inventory, and Nissan has lots of inventory. So, but I think 2025 is going to be a good. I think it's going to be a good year. Good year. They did, and like you said up there, it's people, right? So, I've been very fortunate to have some really good people that are in my company. So, we haven't found. We haven't had lots of turnover and stuff like some people do, so we're able to stay a little bit more consistent and in the market and stuff like that, right? So we don't have lots of peaks and valleys. You have really great months, or you have a good month, and maybe the odd one that was average, but we stay pretty close to it, kind of like you, right? I'm pretty close to the pulse of everything, right? So
have you found certain areas, John? I mean, obviously you're all over the province now. So have you found that there's certain areas that seem to be more bullish, as you would say, or others that, you know what, have surprised you?
I mean, I'm lucky because Kelowna, my two biggest markets are Kelowna and Victoria, right? So Kelowna is the fastest community in Canada right now. And all the building and whatever. So the economy is really good in Kelowna. And Victoria is the second in BC as far as fastest moving. So the island is pretty good, right? So I think those two markets I'm doing really well in, and you know, we kind of try and expand where we have other stores, right? So go from there, sure.
Yeah. Are you, you know, my hat's off to you. You've had a hell of a year in terms of, you know, the surprises. I mean, sometimes, like you say, obviously you being a client, I'm not able to extrapolate or expand and knowing a little bit, you know, what's going on, which is kind of nice. And I'm always proud for you, you know, John, you've done a great job. And really, I always say it's you're a true entrepreneur and a true business person. You know, nothing comes easy to us, and go out there. You have to put in the time and the effort and the energy and reach out, right?
You know, I'm so funny. So I still excited to come to work. I'm excited. I'm still, you know, pretty motivated and passionate about building the business, you know, for my family. Like, obviously I got the boys that are right underneath me, right? So they, you know, I want to get to a point where I feel that, you know, they know all aspects of the business. So these last two acquisitions, they did actually most of the work. I kind of said, okay, guys, I want you to learn and I'll guide you, but you got to do all the heavy lifting of it, and which they did. And, you know, they both, I think, learned a lot on this last one, but so it's going good. How about your business? How do you see the next year coming up? And obviously, there needs to be an election, and I think there's a lot of chaos in the financial world with that. But what's your take on that?
Well, you know, I think to me, it's still an earnings business. You know, you got to look at the companies directly. You know, I think like anything, you have to be. It's a real good market for active management right now. Not passive. You know, a lot of people would buy indices and. Few years ago, I think really now you have to look at what the sectoral rotation is happening with capital, where the next opportunities are. We've seen a ton of growth, obviously, in the AI and the tech space. I'm not saying that that's coming to an end, but what I do think is you have to look at kind of over the mountain, not right in front of you. Yeah. You know, we're always trying to see where's the next opportunity. You know, it's interesting. All I hear right now is, you know, small cap, mid cap, small mid. You know, the Canadian market's really going to shine next year. I'm not convinced of that myself, but I do like the small mid-cap space. I've been saying that for over a year, and, you know, now that's all you hear. So my team sometimes asks me how you know, and I can't say. I remember last time I went out for lunch, he said, "Oh, the market. I just had a really big day." Yeah, well, that was just the recent acquisition that we had. You know, it was. And I look at it, Mubadala Capital has just bought CI. Do you think that'll affect your world personally? I think it's great because you're not subject to the public scrutiny of the public markets. You know, quarterly reporting, as you know, in the Auto Canada world that you'd watch and some of the other public companies, you're only as good as your next earnings report. And, you know, when you can have the best quarter, but really the market says, what are you going to do the next quarter? And so what it does is it takes that market scrutiny off the individual stock. You know, we agreed to what we feel is a pretty fair price in the deal. It'll close out next May. You know, it's good for shareholders. It's good for, you know, the employees. They're maintaining basically status quo across Canada. The executive level management's going to stay. Mubadala Capital is one of the largest private equity firms in the world. They're sovereign-backed investment. So this equity firm, this is a pretty big deal. It's a huge deal. In fact, it was the largest privatization deal in Canadian history. Okay, so $4.7 billion deal. You know, and for our state, the number one thing that I'm concerned about is our clients. And I think it's great for our clients because they're going to, instead of paying out $750 million in dividends, they're going to reinvest that back in the business. And it's going to come, what I feel, with opportunities for, you know, gentlemen like yourselves and our clients that are looking for the alternative space is a real growing space, and we're going to be a leader in that, as we already have been.
Hey, Jared.
How you doing, John?
Good. Come on,
Dale.
come
How
join
you
us.
doing?
This is Dale with DKL
Yeah.
Financial.
Awesome, man.
Good. And I was always fascinated because the restaurant business isn't, it's not like it's a home run every time, and you've been really successful. 8 years now?
10.
10 years now?
10 years this year, yeah. 10 years this year.
Yeah. And what was the,
Yeah.
what kind of made you think of the concept?
Well, my business partner, Devin, and I, we worked together and were introduced to each other. This would have been, going on probably 17 years ago at Earl's. Earl's Kelowna here.
So your background was Earl's?
Background is Earl's, yeah. So we met there and we kind of just learned the business through that, and we got to a point whether we were like, do we go the kind of corporate route and take on Earl's, as a store, because we were at a point then where both of us could have been GMs at different stores. But we decided to stay in Kelowna. We were pretty bullish on the future of Kelowna, so and identified a market opportunity. The fact that there wasn't really kind of a gastro pub, kind of really casual but high-end food opportunity back in 2014. And that was kind of the inspiration behind it. And quite frankly, it was just where would we want to be, right? Just as two guys that were in their late 20s, where do we want to hang out? It's we love the corporate spots, but sometimes it's you want to support local, hence why we're here, right? So
how does the partnership work with you guys? Do you guys both have different strengths, or what?
Definitely, I think like the thing that we both attribute a lot of the success to is the fact that we are vastly different individuals with the same values. So our strengths are completely different in what we do, and we accept them both. We're very, I would say, self-aware of where our opportunities and strengths are. And as a result, we kind of are a perfect sort of yin and yang to what this business is anyways. Our primary business is the restaurant. That's kind of what we came on, we had the experience with. But what we loved about the idea of this whole property was that the sports club was a great opportunity to diversify our options.
So Dale could bring his whole staff here and play basketball?
Absolutely. Basketball, ball hockey, volleyball is our main draw. So we do a lot with the community, a lot of adult recreational sports that take up 7 nights a week. But we do a lot with the youth. So we do a lot of youth camps for volleyball and ball hockey, wrap-up parties for
So you might get a lot, so that might kind of, during the winter, sometimes slows, the guys are doing hockey games, and then they obviously come and have wings, have some wings and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, the business is, it works really well with the seasonality of the city up until this point. In the summertime, tourism, is bumping, and we have the restaurant, it's going to do itself. But because we focus so much on the locals, we've been able to create a really consistent annual flow of business. We have the sports club. When people can't be outside in the Okanagan, they want to come inside and stay active, right? So it's been a really great opportunity for sure.
I see you got the big screen going, so NFL Sundays, that happens here. And
NFL Sunday ticket.
There's a game coming up right now.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on. So we have NFL Sunday ticket. We have going on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays. It seems like the NFL owns every day of the week now. So for good reason.
What about
right?
Christmas parties? Do you guys kind of cater to any of that stuff?
Yeah, so we do a lot of corporate Christmas parties, from as small as a small team of 5 or 6 people up into 50, 60 people, preset dinners. We're just slowly launching our catering division. 1155 Catering is going to be powered by Central Kitchen and Bar. So we've booked a few weddings coming into next year, but it's been a slow burn. We've done some kind of boutique style weddings, but we're ready to kind of put our foot in the gas for that.
The wedding side, I've noticed, is one of those areas where they've slowed down. I know at Harvest Golf Club, I think they're half as many weddings booked for 2025 as they had this year. And I think, unfortunately, the fires over the years put a little bit of a damper on that. So I wish you luck on that.
Yeah. We're excited for it. I mean, it's I just got married about 5 years ago, and it's like I remember going through that process still as if it was yesterday.
No kids yet?
And I got 2, and I got a 3rd on the way. So
oh wow!
Yeah, very exciting.
Busy dad. Wow.
Yeah, very excited. So
So Evan, give us a couple of the favorite go-tos on the menu.
The number 1, 2, and 3 sellers right now are crispy chicken sandwiches.
Oh wow!
People love crispy chicken sandwiches. We have a dill pickle themed crispy chicken sandwich that has taken over our entire menu. Everybody loves it. Rave reviews, and our pad thai. Our pad thai is really great.
Okay, and the number 1 drink special. What's the bartender's number 1?
Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Mr. T. There's been about 5 items on our menu, drink and food, that has been on their menu for 10 years.
Yeah.
Mr. T is the only beverage that's been on our menu for all 10 years we've been open.
What's in a Mr. T?
Mr. T, we have vodka. So Dylan's great vodka. We do a house brewed cold orange pico tea, so it's unsweetened. We add a little house-made simple syrup, some fresh squeezed lemon juice, and it's a perfect cocktail. They're dangerous, is what it is. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say how impressive it is for a couple of young guys like yourself.
I appreciate it.
Open up a restaurant, invest everything, and you got a great menu, like we all know. So all the best to you.
Yeah, likewise. I just didn't have. I'm glad I didn't have popcorn.
I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember. You did buy Genesis off me back in the day.
Back in the day, I do remember that.
10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, back at the old location.
Yeah, it was. I did remember that. So
awesome.
awesome.
Great, John. Appreciate it, Dale.
All the best.
Nice to meet you. All the best. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.